When the market's shaky and uncertain, most people panic. But the ones who win, they use this time to sharpen their skills, to get better, to improve. So right now, it's not just about chasing pumps. It's about preparing for the moment when conditions are right so you can capitalize on it, and in a big way. And trust me, that moment is coming so soon, guys. One of the hottest chains in the game, in the crypto space, just got a massive upgrade, an update. And while most people are still panicking or sleeping on it, there are some big moves that are about to happen. So in today's show, I'm gonna explain to you how to position yourself smartly during these times and explain why now is the time to level up. And lastly, who the big players are that I'm talking about ready to explode. So if you're ready to get ahead of everyone else while everyone else is panicking, then this video is for you today. Hello, my name is Jessica. Welcome to my channel. And without further ado, let's just jump into today's video. All right, so today's video is going to be slightly different. It's far more educational. So we're going to graze over quickly Bitcoin's price. As you can see on my screen, as I'm sure you've been keeping up, Bitcoin has still not broken out, although we have reason to believe that we are very much so seeing the bottom, which means we're going to see movement here soon. So as of the time of today's video, we're still at 96,000 plus and some change, but it's no reason to be concerned or worried. And that's what I'm here to tell you today, because Bitcoin is going to the millions someday, and everything in the meantime is like the weather. You know, sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes it's sunny. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, Bitcoin is going to be worth millions of dollars. That's all that you need to know. And in the meantime, don't trade it. That's going to be the advice you're going to get on my channel. If you want to go trade, go follow other people. But I believe fundamentally in Bitcoin, and the projects I share with you, I believe in fundamentally as well, because of their tech, because of the problem they're solving, because of the impact, because of their mission statement, because of their team, because of their track records. So that's what you're going to get on my channel. That said, once again, grazing over just lightly the ETF. You can see that yesterday we closed Tuesday on the East Coast in the US with $60.7 million leaving the Bitcoin ETF funds. You know, if you've been following my channel, this is also more an indicator of institutional and global mass adoption from the smart money in the world. And it doesn't necessarily have any impact or direct impact on the crypto market as you and I experience it. So that's how you need to see this. And ultimately, there are so many factors at play that we won't get into too much detail in this video, but all you should know and take away is that everything is still okay with Bitcoin and the world, so you have nothing to worry about. But okay, if we also just zoom in a little bit, this was shared by Axel on X, and they share this chart with us, which basically indicates that the bottom may very well be in, because you would see that short-term traders that are basically selling at a loss is decreasing. You can see here at the bottom, hopefully you can see my screen, the part in purple that indicates short-term traders or holders that are selling at a loss. And as you can see, it's becoming progressively less and less and less. So this tells us that we're very much so very likely seeing the bottom, and people who were going to be selling at a loss, selling at any cost, right, to try to recoup some gains because they don't understand the way Bitcoin works and they think it's just some other crypto altcoin, they're almost done with their panic selling. So this is ultimately good for you and I and the market, because it indirectly slightly projects or speaks of a bounce soon to come. And just some words of wisdom from Quentin on X as well, who's a really good account if you want to follow him as well. Very good content. He shares with us a big picture sort of perspective, and he says last year when crypto was dead from March to October, 7 months of boredom, most people gave up. Then November came, as I also shared on my channel, and the market made them regret it, because there's certain behavior that happens year round, especially during a year of a halving or the year after a halving, as we are in now. He goes on to say, fast forward 3 months of slow price action and people are losing patience again. Nothing new, right? The cycle repeats itself, guys. Stay in the game. The next move will shock everyone. And I couldn't agree more with the big picture. That's what I'm primarily here to remind you of all the time, and hopefully help you understand more of what's going on in real time in an easy to understand way. So if you do have questions in what I say, please leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if we take a look at this last year in review, we would see a lot of major changes happened in the world, kind of like chess pieces. We would see that there was a big movement away. Okay, let me just explain what's on the chart and then we can dissect it a little bit. But this chart shared by River shows the change of ownership in Bitcoin across all the different entity category types. So at the bottom of this chart, you would see funds and ETFs. That's the sort of dark blue aqua color, dark aqua color. And then businesses is in baby blue, governments is in black. The other category, which could mean protocols, it could mean many different forms of entities holding Bitcoin. And then we have individuals over here in this khaki color. You would see that the main gainers this year, which is our ultimate signal, as I was saying a moment ago with the ETFs, you would see that this last year, funds selling Bitcoin ETFs saw the largest increase of almost 520,000 increase in Bitcoin ownership last year, followed by businesses, then governments. And you can see that the two main categories that actually sold the most Bitcoin was the others category, which is composed of many different types of entities, as I was saying, and then the individuals. So this is actually a picture of what we're seeing in the market right now. All of this I was sharing a moment ago of the last of the panic sellers or short-term traders that are selling Bitcoin at a loss. Okay, a lot of that could be reflected in individuals or the general sentiment and behavior we've had of new people entering into crypto because Trump popularized it. Elon has been continuing to promote it through his Doge, and just this represents the sell pressure that ultimately new people that entered the crypto space and Bitcoin felt like they had to sell. And as they sold because of certain events happening in the market that scared them, like the presidency, like war, right? We still haven't settled this war in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, even though Putin said he was willing to end the war, but we don't know at what cost or what that really means. So we'll have to keep following the news, because the news definitely impacts the markets and definitely impacts the crypto market. Like the crypto market is the last domino in the site, in the domino effect. You can think of like world news as like the first domino, and then like liquidity, and then, which by the way, we had FTX, the first disbursement of payments go out, but it didn't really move the market very much that we've seen yet, right? So anyway, there are so many factors in this chain of effect across the market, and the crypto market, especially the altcoins, they're like that's like the last domino to be affected by the whole domino effect that happens globally because we're all connected. So anyway, long story short, this last category we see here of individuals that have, from this last year, that have primarily lost Bitcoin. I would say they lost it to the funds and the ETFs. I'd almost go as far as saying that, because anyway, this is a whole other theory or subject, I would say, not so much theory, but there's a lot of manipulation or behind the scenes insider buying and selling and coordination between the media, even though Doge, thanks to Elon Musk, is cleaning everything up. But it doesn't matter. You know, people at these high levels know each other and they interact and they donate money to each other, and it's all connected. So anyway, if you saw my video from 2 days ago, you would know that the pie chart still is heavily in favor of the individual in terms of who owns Bitcoin. You can Google this. It's far more than 50%. I think it's like 60 some percent of all the Bitcoin in the world is owned by individuals. So even though this last year saw the greatest decrease or drop in individuals holding their Bitcoin, ultimately the individual as a category holds the most Bitcoin in the world. So the funds and ETFs and businesses and world governments are catching catching up fast. But hopefully through people like me and other educators in the crypto space, the individuals bucket category of people holding Bitcoin decreases. Hopefully they stop selling, and hopefully you all start buying more, because it'll secure your future, your kids, everyone. Please, you should just be buying Bitcoin. That said, another word towards global adoption. We have Google now saying, as you can see on my screen, I commented on this on my X account if you want to go check it out. They're basically saying that Google Web3 leader at Google Web3 says it's working to improve its Bitcoin wallets, and their goal is for users to be able to log into their wallets using their Google accounts, which sounds like the worst idea ever. I'm just going to say it, and I reposted this on my X account. Please don't fall for this. Please don't ever use Google to log into any Bitcoin type wallet that'll allow you to buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is like the most valuable asset on the planet, arguably. Okay, I think many very smart, intelligent people would agree with me. And Google and your Google domain is not owned by you, okay? And Google sells their data. There's so much information and documentaries on this. So why in the world would you use your Google domain, your Google email to log into any wallet to buy the most precious asset in the world? Like, that makes no sense. Plus all the information they already have on you. No, thank you. Not unless they're going to make it totally decentralized. So I go look this up, go tell everyone, do not be using Google services to buy Bitcoin. Do not, just don't. Not unless we find out it's fully decentralized, in which case I still think there are other, like the whole point of Bitcoin and the whole theory and like premise and philosophy behind it is to be your own bank. Why would you just let's not go down that path. Anyway, moving on a more positive, but little level of liquidity injected back into the crypto market. Apparently, FTX paid out approximately $800 million to 162 accounts, which accounts for about 35% of what it owes people. This didn't move the market, like barely moved the needle. So who knows? But once again, I don't have details on how these people were paid out. I was not one of these people affected by FTX. So we'll see. I would have imagined it would have moved the market a bit more, but it didn't. Unless the people who received the money just know right now is like not a good time, but it is a good time. Right now is a very good time to buy more of any crypto blue chip token that has real value, is solving a real problem in the world. Yes, it is a very good time to buy more of these tokens, and the one I'm going to share with you here in a minute. Okay, so just finishing the thought on FTX, apparently their next distribution is for May 30th for all the customers with balances over 50K. So that's the information we don't have, is whom, like, and how large the accounts were that received this first distribution. Maybe they were very small accounts of people that are like, no, thank you, I'm done with crypto. Because anyone holding balances over 50K would be bigger players, bigger investors that know more about crypto and, know who's who and know what to buy and are very plugged in. So these people and their reimbursements will they're much more likely to affect the market. So anyway, overall, it's good news, okay? And taking a quick look at where we are in terms of open interest or traders that are putting in longs, right? Or shorts, they're opening positions with leverage. You would see that apparently it's ramping up again. So this also speaks of general bullishness from traders. So this is ultimately good news. This is ultimately good news, guys. And if you're curious as to how open interest affects Bitcoin's price in the market, I'm going to read this thread for you after I have a sip of cafecito. Okay, this is by Abe Trade, and they say open interest can provide valuable insights into marketing positioning, but I often see it misrepresented online. This thread will break down everything you need to know about open interest in a quick and straightforward way. So I'm going to read this briefly to you, okay? Open interest does not mean that people are openly interested in the market. Instead, it measures the number of outstanding contracts in a given market. In other words, it tracks the positions that are still open and have not yet been closed. So in the simplest terms, open interest increasing equals traders are opening new position. Open interest decreasing means traders are closing their positions. So the biggest mistake I often see online is the claim that markets move because there are more buyers than sellers. This is not true. For every buyer, there must be a seller and vice versa, meaning all positions are always matched 1-to-1. So why does open interest change if every trade has both a buyer and a seller? The reason is that not everyone in the market is trading directionally. Delta neutral participants, such as market makers, do not speculate on price movements. They simply provide liquidity. Because of this, you can think of open interest as a measure of directional positions in the market. So open interest as an indicator. Open interest is plotted as a running indicator in a separate panel below. I'll show it to you in a second. It's available on all popular charting platforms such as TradingView, Velo, Trading Light, and others. Anyway, you can go on and go follow Adam if you want, but hopefully that gave you a glimpse of how it works. I'm going to go ahead and retweet this. It's quite insightful. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and repost that. So if you want to read it in more detail, I'm always happy to share resources with you and people and other thought leaders that, know more about trading than I do. Because I'm not a trader, right? I'm a fundamentalist and I generally know how to read charts. So that's and I try to explain it to you, spoon feed it to you, so you get the big picture. But hopefully that was valuable. And if not, like I said, go read it on my X account. Okay, guys. So now we get to the juicy part of the show. The token I wanted to share with you, or the project, that just got an update. I made a whole video about Hyper. Check out my videos from last week. I think check it out. It was like Wednesday or so. Apparently, this is an update for you guys. Hyper's EVM, which makes EVM stands for, Ethereum Virtual Machine. So it makes a token compatible with Ethereum's ecosystem of layer 2s and with Ethereum itself. So this is very, very exciting. So Hyper is now compatible with Ethereum's ecosystem, and this is the announcement here, screenshot from Discord, and they basically say the following, right? Hyper EVM is live. This is a major step towards the vision of housing all finance by bringing general purpose programmability to Hyperliquid's performant financial system. The initial mainnet release of the Hyper EVM includes, and these are a bunch of really techie details, but apparently it's effective immediately. They also have a bug bounty program in case, because tech is not perfect, right? And the whole point behind a lot of this open source tech is to get worked on by the community. So in any case, this is very, very exciting. Go read more about it, guys, but I thought I would share this with you. And apparently their EVM went live. It's coinciding with all this drama and bleed out from Solana, which is sad, but it will recover, guys. If anything, Solana's on sale. I can't see Solana disappearing. It just, happens to have a lot of activity, a lot of mind share and attention from the whole crypto market. So obviously there were a lot of meme coins on Solana, and wherever there's meme coins and, cabals or big groups of people, marketing at the same time and in orchestrated ways is going to exist and exists. Okay, so they're like super fans that are all organized and connected. That's what's happening. But anyway, it looks like a lot of volume is leaving Solana's ecosystem and is moving over to Hype. So yeah, this is why I'm bringing this to you today, because if you did not look into Hype the last time I shared this with you last week, now is still a good time. The market is still down, so it's still a very good time to put in last minute positions. And to wrap things up, we have McKenna here on X also saying the following: advice to emerging traders with 20 to 100K to their name. Pay attention to the Hyper EVM. I think there will be opportunities here in the 10 to 100X range if you can find the best value early, because that's the way things work. You'll notice in crypto, things are very tribal and everything kind of moves in waves. And when one chain is down for whatever reason, everyone flows to the next one that has the most hype, and the cabals and the meme coins, and the narrative moves in that direction too. So in many ways, you're welcome. By me sharing this with you, I am telling you in advance, the way McKenna is that a lot of attention is going to Hyper, right? Hyperchain. So it's a good time to have your, if you do have dispensable income, gambling money, quote unquote, then it could be a very good time to go over there. But I would just make sure that you're very locked in and you act fast, and you also jump out very fast. But that's not financial advice at all. I'm just telling you where the momentum and the flow and the general mind share and attention of the market is moving. Okay, so I'll just finish this thought by McKenna. He or she goes on to say, never been more clear than when risk is on and the hyper EVM is in its final state, then this ecosystem has the highest potential outside of Solana meme coins to thrive. They say, study Binance Smart Chain and what it did for BNB. So that's a loaded tweet statement. But ultimately, I agree. And this is why I brought it to you, because this is where mind share and attention is going. And I also hope that you understand where we are in the market a little more, and understand that we're very much so seeing indicators, not just my opinion. We're seeing indicators and data pointing to the fact that we are seeing the bottom of the market, which indicates a pump. February has always been historically a bullish month. And that's as a reference point. Remember, every year and every bull run, and every post having a year of a bull run within a bull run year, which always follows a halving. They don't always mirror each other. Like the phases vary within a time frame. So the parabolic phase, the takeoff phase is coming, guys, but it's not super predictable. So all I can tell you is what I shared with you in today's video, which is that the indicators point to us very much so being at a confirmed bottom, which implies an upturn in the market here very soon. And in the meantime, it's a good time, guys, to buy more Bitcoin. It's a good time to look at Hyper, to buy Ethereum, because we know that the Trump family is buying Ethereum on the daily. It's a really good time to be looking at AI agents, especially DeFi or decentralized finance AI tokens and projects, because that's the future. AI, decentralization, and finance, put them all together, you know. These are the main sectors I bring you. So anyway, guys, I love you very much, and I'll be back here tomorrow. Take care. Bye.